So here we have Mollie Collie and Micky's over there, and we have Gracie here with Jacob and Teri. We're back here again to the favourite. It's a nice little place to take them. You know, simple, really. It's close. It's close. It gives them a little walk. They don't have to run around chasing the ball. Gracie's not running around like a nutter to run around us, so it's cool. Yeah, I do. We've been around here once already today. We're going around again. Indeed, yes. We've been around here twice earlier. We'll probably go around twice again, not sure. Time will tell. Anyway, I watched the Chelsea Liverpool game. Good game. Not bad. There's a few things about it. The Chelsea left right back, I think, was sent off. Lost his cheek, I think it was. Not totally sure. I don't support Chelsea, so I wouldn't really know. Well, the ball basically bounced up from his leg. He raised his leg to try and deflect the ball. Hit his leg, then hit his arm. Then he moved his arm towards the ball. Now, the thing of it is, he was sent off and a penalty was given. Right. He was sent off because it was counted as denying a goal scoring opportunity. Yeah, okay. A few minutes earlier, Jacob, enough. Oi! Enough. Banged into me a second ago, that's why I told him off. Right? But a few minutes earlier, with regards to the football, Chelsea had a corner. I think it was Mount, who Lukaku gave the ball to Mount on the box. Mount knocked the ball over, it deflected out for a corner. Now, the linesman denied Chelsea a goal scoring opportunity. Should that have been the linesman sent off? The linesman made a mistake, so they lost his cheek. Now, to me, it's about time that there were consequences to the officials. Yeah. And also, why wasn't VAR brought in? A corner is a goal scoring opportunity, isn't it? It's a continuation of the attack. Right? If the defender deflects the ball out, it means the ball is still with the attacking team. Yeah, look, it doesn't matter so much if the ball is deflected out for a throw-in deep in Chelsea's half. It doesn't really matter if it's not given it to Chelsea, apart from the fact that Liverpool have got a better chance to attack. But say it's on the halfway line, it doesn't matter so much, does it? A corner does matter, especially when you're in the ascendancy. When you're actually the team dominating and looking as if you're going to score, which they were at that point in time. The sending off completely knackered them. But again, why, when you've got, it's Sky TV, you've got no camera angle that will show whether the player's arm moving towards the ball after it had already hit his arm. Did he push the ball away with his arm? If he did, penalty, send it off, definitely. If it is simply the case that he moved his arm towards the ball but didn't connect with the ball after the ball had already hit his hand, then it's not a penalty and it's definitely not a send it off. Because if the ball hits your leg and bounces up and hits your arm, and your arm is in a natural position, then what was unnatural was him moving his arm then towards the ball, right? He's trying to sort of push the ball away. Now the problem is the referee didn't have an angle to see if he did actually push the ball away. Because if the ball hit his leg, then hit his arm, the ball is already bouncing away from him. Right? Clearly. So therefore, how can the referee give a penalty and a sending off when he doesn't have a clear view? And he went over and looked at the image for no time at all. He really didn't look very long, and he red card, straight out, penalty. Yeah, bad decision by the ref there. But as I say, only recently Chelsea could have gone 2-0 up for that corner. They scored from a corner, so obviously they're good at corners. They're dangerous at corners. Therefore, denying them a corner was denying them a goal scoring opportunity. How on earth is that not something that Yeah, if a Chelsea player can be sent off for doing the same, you can't have officials claiming that they're professional, but then not hold them to a professional standard. Yeah, all footballers, whether they are professional or amateur, are held to the same rules. Now, there should be something done with these officials. If they get in the way, if they make a bad decision, I mean, as I say, you've got VAR though. Because you've got VAR, it should be brought back. VAR should be alerting the referee it's a corner. Shouldn't they? The referee's made a mistake. The attackers had to play. The referee made a mistake, it's a corner. Should be given. Come on this way. Wait, hurry up. We've got people coming this way, I'm not sure if they've got a dog. So we haven't got ammo, so it's not too bad. Oh, they're right here. Okay. I thought we'd have a bit of time. No, don't have any time at all. Right, stop fighting, you two. Pay attention to what's going on. Right, we'll go this way. Come this way. As if he didn't see us. He couldn't wait a few minutes until I got out of the way. Clearly not, no. Come on this way. Come on. We'll go this way. Well, we're going to go a different way, but okay. At least those two are going over there, that's one thing. Anyway, so yeah. Oh, one other thing about the Chelsea game, the car crew. Yeah. Right, Teri, no. Need the poo. Teri, no. Teri! Ah! You won't get any more food? Ah, don't eat poo. No. Bad girl. You little baby, stop eating poo. Now what? No, sorry, nothing there. I thought the man has stopped coming this way, but no, it wasn't. It's going that way. Cool. Right, the Lukaku, £85 million player. Don't make me laugh. I laughed actually when United sold him to Inter for 55. He's never worth 55. Again, playing for Chelsea, same thing. He's running with the ball and he falls over the ball. 25 minutes in. Then later on, he's running with the ball and again, he's left the ball behind him. He's still going forward, the ball's gone. There aren't many forwards who keep on doing the same thing year after year after year after year and haven't learned. Lukaku's one of them. Technically, he's just as awful as he has been. That's terrible. How can you not learn? If you are that crap at dribbling with the ball, stop trying to dribble with the ball. If that's not who you are as a player, stop trying to do that. But again, same as he wasn't with United. With United, oh God, the fans were laughing at him in the end, weren't they? When he was playing at United, when he kept on, fumbling the ball, he kept on doing the same thing. He never learned from it. That's why when Ollie looked at him and saw him, he's got to go. He's no good. He's not going to be good enough for United because, yes, he's a big player, but he's a fumbler. And his control was, well, certainly for United, his control of the ball was awful. But that's all to do with the fact that his technique is terrible. All this rubbish that when he was at Inter, he improved that. He didn't. He's lost a lot of weight. He was overweight when he was at United. He lost weight, yes. He looks fitter, good. But he's still a big lad, certainly, but there's still too much of his game that it's just, oh God. Watching him properly in a game, you can see that he still isn't there. Not in any way, shape or form. He still isn't there. Nope, he hasn't got it. Not in any way, shape or form. He hasn't got it. Micky! Micky, move! Come here. You got a sticky, Teri. Come, Mix, this way. This way, Bubba boy. Come this way, my boy. Come, Micky, move. But the others have been for their run anyway, for their wacky ball, and they've been for that, so that's good. Amber, for some reason, there were a couple of kids just walking across the field, and Amber went barking at them. No idea why. Well, sometimes you get it. I get it sometimes, and we had it. When was this? We were somewhere. Oh, in the same field. with Amber. It was getting quite late. I was speaking to 3 young ladies who one of them said about they used to have a collie. I was speaking to them for a while. And then suddenly this boat just appeared from nowhere. Now Amber was surprised by the boat. That's why she then went barking at him, nipping at his heel. Because suddenly he was there from nowhere. I didn't see him approach. I didn't hear him approach. Suddenly, bang, he was there. It surprised me. It surprised Amber. I mean, that's why she started. But I've got to keep an eye on her. Because she did that, and then she was barking at the kids today. The kids didn't come out of nowhere. She might have noticed them out of nowhere, suddenly noticed them, but they were walking quite a way away from us. They weren't right next to us. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, you saw her today. Was she on the walkies earlier? No, she wasn't actually. No. Because I videoed the walkies earlier, she wasn't on that. No. We come across kids then, but she wasn't here. No. I thought she was, but she wasn't. No. Okay. There you go. Hi, Grace. Gracie was here, though. Yeah. Well, the game finished 1-1, Liverpool, Chelsea anyway. Didn't see enough from Liverpool. In attack, I don't think their attacker anywhere near what they were before. Nowhere near. They don't seem to be, at least. They don't seem to have anywhere near the firepower or the speed of attack or the decision making that they had a couple of seasons ago. They had it then, but no, they haven't got it now. Yeah, there were some interesting battles on the pitch though. Certainly Conte, I think his name is Conte, it's pronounced Conte. He did well again. Liverpool midfielder, is it Can? He also did very, very well. Come, Mix. Mickey Moo, come. Come on, boy. What's the matter, Mickey Moo? What's the matter with the Mickey Moo? Where you been? You been up to no good? Mickey, come here. Come here, Mix. Come here, Mixie Moo. Come on, loves. That's Mickey. I'm going to run ahead and call them back, so we're going to turn left in a second. I'm not going to tell them that. Not yet. Actually, if they come back, I'm going to make them go forward and then call them back. Because they think we're going that way anyway. So I'm going to make them think we're going straight ahead. Well, makes them run a bit more, doesn't it? Oh, as I say, yeah, Liverpool midfielder, what's his name? No idea. He did well. Right, this way. Come on, on you get. On you go. Come on, on you get. On you go then. Come on, on you go. Come on you go. Mickey! This way. I was telling you, Porkies! There you go, have a run, my boy. Have a run, my baby. Them two fighting each other. Yep. Quite funny earlier. Teri was on my bed. I give her a bit of bready dumps on my bed earlier. Sat on my bed for a while. Jacob was trying to play fight with her from the floor. And she would sort of come forward to encourage him to play fight. Then she'd go back a bit so she had the advantage. Every time he jumped up, she sort of nipped at him, then ran back a bit. Nipped at him, then ran back a bit onto the bed. So he couldn't get to her. Then as soon as he sort of gave up, realised futile efforts, he's not going to get her. She come forward again, saying, come on, come and get me. And as soon as he went forward, boom, back again. Yeah, little surprise attacks. Oh, they have fun together, they do. Hopefully they'll have many years of running around together and having fun. Hi, Jakes. Hi, Gracie. How you doing, bub? Is it Cane, the Liverpool? I don't know. I keep thinking of Kante. Kante is Chelsea, yes. What's the Liverpool lad called? I mean, he had a good game as well. Got to say, Henderson, yeah, pretty quiet. Pretty quiet. Yeah, I mean, I say Salah, he was okay. Gracie, Grace, come here. Grace, Grace, come. No jumping up. Be good. Be good, babies. No jumping.
Right.
How you doing? All right. No jumping, Grace. What I say? Come on, this way. Leave that stick. It's way too big. Why are we here? I have no idea. Why are we end up in the... Oh, okay. Because we're going in here, I think. I don't know. How did we end up here with it? Okay. I think we're coming in there, don't we? Yeah, we come in that corner, don't we? Come here. Here now. Someone's whistling at a dog. You don't really want to be anywhere near that. But the bloke with the big dog, he should be gone by now, because met him here and we've been round that way and back around again, so it shouldn't be him again. Who it will be this time, I don't know. Keep an eye. Come here. Jacob. Jakes. Here, baby. Here now. Come here. Gracie. Come here. Gracie. Hello. There's the dog. Okay. I see it. Come here, Grace. Gracie, come. Gracie, you're a nutcase. Come here. Here now. Teri, Jacob. Come here. Here now. Gracie. Come on, Grace. Teri. Micky, come. Teri, come. We've got to let them go. They're going to take God knows how long to go. They're going to walk slowly, I guess. Just got to wait here for a bit. Yeah. Often that's the case. You just got to wait for people. So it's a bit annoying when you get here. Suddenly they come here. But there you go. I heard the whistle. I just didn't realise they were that close. I thought they could have been going that way instead of they coming this way. They might hear at the time. So yeah, I would have held them up a bit. God, they are walking slowly. Okay. Anyway, talking about Liverpool, yeah, I don't think Liverpool are title contenders. I mean, Chelsea at points looked very good. Liverpool, certainly early on, were playing fast football, attacking Chelsea, certainly harassing Chelsea when they're on the ball. But is that enough to be champions? Problem is, even when Chelsea had 10 men, they really weren't taking advantage. They were quite poor in their decision making. You know, they weren't moving the ball around quickly enough to try and sort of move Chelsea around. No. And then they just allowed Chelsea back in the game, you know, to get some attacks of their own. You know, so it's not, sorry, I don't think Liverpool managed that game very well at all, really. Before the sending off, I think Chelsea were the better team. After the setting off, I mean, Chelsea defended well. But really, most of the Liverpool shots were from outside the box, so they didn't really need to do much, Chelsea. They had a few moments where they were quite poor. Chelsea's number 5 and number 6, I think it is. Yeah. Bit weird. They both got the same hairstyles. Both got sort of black hair, but then dyed blonde with it cut up the sides. They look pretty much identical. If you can't see the back, you think it's the same player. Maybe they've done that to try and confuse the refs, to giving the other player a yellow card, rather than the player who just made the foul. I don't know. One's number 5, one's number 6. I don't think they were very good. I think one of them fell asleep at one point. Then Chelsea got the ball up to Lukaku, and at that time he held the ball on quite well. Passed it to Mount. Mount knocked it back to, I think it was probably number 5. And he just wasn't awake. Yeah. Liverpool got the ball back and mounted another attack. Yeah, which was like, come on. That's not exactly clever, is it, really? Not at all. So, yeah. So, I mean, Chelsea definitely could end up being a force to be reckoned with in the Championship. I think they've got a better manager than Klopp. It's like Klopp was moaning about the fact that their referees are taking it easy on players' fouls now and letting the game just flow. He didn't seem to moan when these players were getting away with it. Doing exactly the same. He didn't moan then. So it's like, okay. Yeah. That's very typical of managers, isn't it, really? Well, actually, Klopp's mettle is going to be tested this season. They won the league. So one of the tests to win the league is, can you defend it? Well, you couldn't, but part of the reason why you couldn't, they had a lot of injuries. They can certainly use that as an excuse for why they couldn't. This season, they haven't got the injuries. This season, they've got the team they had when they won the league. So let's see if they can retain the league now with their full strength squad again. I don't think they can. Based upon what I saw, I don't think they can. Like, everyone was making out that Liverpool were back because they beat Burnley 2-0. So what? Yeah, they beat Burnley. Early in the season, Burnley are not going to be a team that's going to be challenging the top teams, are they, really? So they had a good season last season. There's no guarantee they're going to have a good season again. You know, so let's not be, really patting Liverpool's back and saying, oh, you're doing so well, you're back now, aren't you? No. Look at how people were saying United are back because they beat Leeds and then they played Southampton and they've forgotten how to play football suddenly, again. Yeah. What's I say? Look at Ollie. Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be the same thing with Ollie for me. Yeah, can he be a problem solver, Ollie? Because part of managing is about solving the problems. Yeah, number 6 is a problem. Yeah, Fred. Well, McTominay not good enough, Fred not good enough. Neither are good enough to hold that position on their own. Together, they're still not good enough to hold that position. Plus, if they hold that position together, it means you have to drop one of the attacking players. Well, what's the point then of bringing in Sancho and Rooney, Ronaldo, if you're just going to drop them? It makes no sense. If you're not going to play them because you're playing 2 defensive midfielders, it makes no sense. So, he's got to solve that problem, isn't he? They've had this problem for a number of years. Everyone is so quick to say, oh, hasn't Ollie done well bringing in all these players? He hasn't brought in number 6, has he? Yeah? That's the point, he hasn't. And people say all the time, oh, didn't Ollie do well getting rid of the players like Fellaini and Lukaku and the players that were causing the problem? Did he get rid of Jones? No. Has he got rid of Martial? No. Did he get rid of Pereira? No. So did he get rid of the other players anyway? No. He didn't get rid of those players, did he? He didn't persuade the club to sell them, persuade the other clubs to buy them, did he? He didn't do that. Smalling went on loan and proved while he was on loan that he's still a quality player, so therefore Roma wanted him. Lukaku was still an international player, so therefore Inter thought he's worth a go, I suppose. Yeah. 55 million we'll offer you, but we'll pay all the money at that stage. Well, and of course United wanted to get rid of him, and they said, yeah, okay. Fellaini, they were just happy to get rid of as well. But again, Fellaini was an international player, big, tall midfielder. So a manager who thought they could get something out of him bought him. Problem is, nobody is wanting Jones, nobody's wanting Pereira. Now, if Ollie can get rid of those players, then you can say, well done. But he hasn't. If you can get rid of players that nobody wants, that's impressive. Getting rid of players that teams would want because they're half-decent players. They might not be suitable for United, but they're still half-decent players. Getting rid of Martial, who's on a huge wage. Yeah. Doing all of this, that's impressive. Getting rid of those players, that's impressive. Yeah. I mean, as I say, Fred should have been sold. In the summer, Fred should have been gone. No mucking around. They should have sold him. They should have sold Martial. If they sell Martial and Fred, if they had sold Martial and Fred, they'd have had money to go and get a Verratti or something like that. Or an Ndidi or a Saul or one of those players. One of the players who could actually wear the number 6 and do a blinking good job of it. We just need one of them to protect the defence. But look, if Varney is all he's cracked up to be, and Maguire is the player that everyone seems to think he's going to be, because he hasn't been yet for United. But everyone says, oh, that's because he didn't have the right player playing next to him. Well, actually, the defence was always better when Bailly played. Wasn't it? Always better when Bailly played. And yet Bailly isn't getting a mention. Put it this way, if Maguire had been bought for 30 million, would Maguire even be getting a mention as someone who should be playing ahead of Bailly? I think no. Bailly didn't cost very much. Maguire did. I think that's why a lot of people are saying that Maguire is the main central defender alongside Varney. I get Lindelof shouldn't be, because Lindelof is just weak. I don't know how small Lindelof is or how big, but he's not very strong, and his decision making is just not great as a central defender. Again, maybe him as a central defensive midfielder. He's got a bit of defensive ability. He's got more of a defensive ability than Fred. The problem is Lindelof on bringing the ball out. Nope, I don't think that'll work. Sitting in front of the defence, yeah, that'll work. Playing a simple pass to another midfielder, yeah, he could do that. Breaking the play up from the other team when they got the ball, doing what Kante does and players like that. He could do that. But I think Bailly is a man for that. Because if you don't fancy him as a central defender, stick him in there as a central defensive midfielder. I think he will play that role with McTom, because he's got a lot more defensively and he's got a lot more feistiness than McTom or Fred. And I think he's just as useful at bringing the ball out as them. He can play with the ball. He can come out with the ball. He's confident at doing that. So therefore, give him a chance to do that. I would say they're giving him a new contract. So this is the thing with United. The players that they don't seem to fancy, they give them new contracts all the time. Whether they should fancy those players as good players or not, they still give them new contracts. Jones had a new contract. Lingard had a new contract. With both of those players, they should let their contracts die. They should let them go for free. Because they won't sell them. Because they're paying them far too high a wage. But as I say, what they should do, I've said it before, they should say with regards to Jones, with regards to Lingard, to any club that wants them, we will pay part of their wage for the length of the contract that they still have with us. So if you buy that player and you sign them for 4 years, but they still have 2 years with us right now, for the first 2 years, we'll pay 50% or 70% of their contract. That way, the club is saving 30% to 50% of the contract of that player. They get a bit of money for the player, plus they're saving a bit of money, right? Then after that 2 years is up, that player's gone. Someone else is now taking care of that player and paying them their wage. That would make sense. Instead, you've got these players just sitting, doing nothing. They're not even on the bench. Phil Jones is not going to be on the bench. He's not good enough to be on the bench. He's way behind the pecking order. I imagine you've got reserve, 23-year-old defenders who are ahead of Phil Jones. But it's certainly a case where Lindelof and Bailly are ahead of Phil Jones. You've got Maguire, Varney, Bailly, Lindelof, and then maybe one other from the youngsters, and then Phil Jones. Well, what's the chance that Phil Jones is going to get a game in game time? Seriously, none at all. Unless there's a calamity in defence with injuries, unless 4 or 5 defenders get injured, which yes, that has happened before. Yeah, certainly with United it's happened before, with other teams it's happened before. But unless that happens, remember, I think in Fergie's second to last season, Carrick was playing at central defence because United has so many defenders injured. So yeah, that's happened. But is it worth keeping Phil Jones in for? Because if that does happen, do you really want Phil Jones to be the man coming in? Calamity Jones? Ugh. Hi, Grace. Yeah, Phil Jones was supposed to be that man that would play as a central defence midfielder. He was supposed to be the genius, the new, what is his name? Duncan. The one who died in Munich crash. Duncan Edwards. Phil Jones was supposed to be the new Duncan Edwards. Yeah, that's what Alex Ferguson reckoned him to be. That proves Alex Ferguson was just human. Yeah, he made mistakes. Big ones as well. Certainly that was a huge mistake. His valuation and estimation of Phil Jones. Yeah. Well, I mean, Smalling has gone on and he's proved he's still a good player. He's proved he's a good defender. He just needs to be given the opportunity to defend. You know, have a decent player playing next to him. Problem is, quite often Smalling had Jones playing next to him. That's never going to work. Was it, really? Yeah, I mean, I quite liked Smalling when he was playing for United. He wasn't a bad player. Same as Rojo. I thought Rojo was quite good. Because Rojo was one of these defenders who would get stuck in. Yeah, but like Bailly. Not quite as talented as Rojo as Bailly. I think his timing is pretty good with regards to his tackling. I think he's like Wan-Bissaka, but in defence. In central defence. You know, good in the air and all that lot. Yeah, great player, Bailly. Yeah, I really like Bailly. He does get injured a lot, but he does get injured because he gets stuck in. Put it this way, you've got a Phelan, who's our defensive coach. Coach him. Coach him to stay on his feet. Coach him to, not go into reckless, 60-40 challenges, that sort of stuff. Teach him not to do that. Teach him that it's more important that he plays the next 5 games than he makes a challenge that's injured from that. Come on, how are we doing? Micky Moo, come this way. That's the thing, I mean, you've got coaches. The coaches are supposed to coach. The manager is supposed to problem solve, but the coaches are supposed to coach. There doesn't seem to be an awful lot of coaching going on at United. I think they're playing tomorrow against Wolves. So that's away. That'd be an interesting game. It will. Well, I think Varney will probably play. Ronaldo won't, but Varney will. Whether Martial plays or not, I don't know. That'd be interesting. Because it's quite possible, I mean, is Sancho going to start? He hasn't started yet, has he? He's come on sub twice. This young player that United was so desperate to get last season, finally got this summer. They wanted him last summer. They get him and they won't very well start him. They start Martial instead. That's crazy. Just insane, really, isn't it? Don't do that. Terry Twos. Come on, Terry. This way, bub. Hi, Grace. How you doing, bub? You just peed? Good go, Grace. Better to pee outside than pee indoors. Come on, Jake. This way. Jacob. Come on, bubs. Quite a good time, actually. It's getting dark now. We're starting to get dark. Yeah. Good time. And this sort of go out again at bedtime. This bunch. These 5 will go out about 12 o'clock, yes. Just before that. Hi. Indeed, yes. Oh, idiot bloke next door to me on the who owns the camper van, anyway. The old bloke that I said moans a lot, that when the water was getting to his area he was moaning, then when I put the tarp up he moaned. Him. I got in the car, started to reverse out, and he come with his camper van. He was on the wrong bloody side, wasn't he? Yeah. Because there's the Civic, then there's a Mercedes next to that, and then there's bloke upstairs, there's his work van next to that. Of course, this bloke was driving his camper van right alongside those vehicles. There was no way for me to see it. I managed to brake just before that car, his van hit me. If I'd have come out any further, he'd hit me. So, of course, him and his missus are like just stating at me as if I was the one out of order. Clearly, as you come into the area, there are markings on the road to say you go on this side for coming this way, this side for going that way. Micky! Come on, Mix, hurry up, this way. As it does on all road markings. Of course, he was on the wrong side of the road. So had I have reversed out and he had hit me, then his insurance company would not have paid him out at all. He would have had to have paid for damage on my vehicle. So, yeah, idiot. But then acting as if I'm the one out of order, that I'm the one who should be careful. You get your vehicle over onto the right side of the blinking area there. The point is he's got 3 cars parked. He's parked on double sides basically, at the end of the little car park area opposite his house. He's parked in both those spots. Come here. Come up. So therefore, I suppose when he reverses out, he's just reversing straight out. He's not trying to come over onto the right side. But then that's his blinking fault, isn't it, really? Yeah? Stupidity of it, yeah? But then trying to act as if it's me who's out of order. Yep. Well, it's stupid. Well, I say it's stupidity. Oh, yeah. Well, put it this way, when it's due its next MOT, I might just continue reversing out. Because then if he hits it, I don't have to put it through an MOT. If it fails, I have to sell it for hardly any money. If he hits it, I get insurance payout. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like the idiot upstairs from me. When they come in from the road, he comes in from the area at what, 20, 25 miles an hour? Yeah, I have to be so careful when taking the dogs out. Yeah, I make sure I take Mollie first and Micky by this walk, because I know that Mollie is not going to walk ahead of me. Micky's on the lead, so I can have a look out. Because I know if I take them all, he'll come around the corner, he will run over the dogs. No worries at all, he'll do that. If the dog runs out to the area towards the car, he will just run over the dog. No, he don't care. No. Anyway, we're going back to the car now, so yeah. Take dozy neighbours. Yeah, indeed. Well, there you go. No worries. Here's one it wears. I hope they all repent. I got a bit tongue-tied there. Gracie! Grace! Here she goes again. Gracie, come here. Gracie, come. Here now. We've got a dog. I don't know, we've got something. Where's he got these? And there's a bag in it. Something like that. Anyway, right. Getting back to the car now, so you take care, God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.